Hey guys, Happy New Year. I hope everybody is having a great start to their 2021. I am so sorry I've been absent. I was really busy like the beginning of this week and trying to get everybody's appointments taken care of and video readings done. And then unfortunately, I got food poisoning on New Year's Eve. So right now is the first time that I was like, oh my God, I think I can actually like sit down and make it through filming a video. So if I chose you as a winner for anything and you haven't gotten an email from me yet, you will be getting that this weekend. I'm trying to play catch up, because your girl was really not in a great place. So anyways, today's video is going to be a little weird. I'm going to do a reading on Kenneth Petty, just him. Like, what kind of a person is he? What does Spirit want us to know about him? Because, Nikki posted the pictures of the baby today. Oh my God, he's so cute. And I'm like, girl, what is his name? Like, why would you show us him? And we still don't even know what this little boy's name is. But, oh my God, is he adorable. And of course, there was all the love that was being shown, but of course, all of the comments too. And I'm like, we don't really know anything about this man except bad things. And obviously, there's something about him that is good if Nikki loves him. So I was just like, we really don't know anything about him, like he's very private. Even she keeps him very private, even though we see pictures of him, she really doesn't tell us a whole lot about him. So I was like, maybe let's be a little nosy like we always are and see what Spirit has to say about Kenny. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But before that, you guys, look at how cute this cup that I found at TJ Maxx's. It was like $3.99. I just felt like if I was a cup, I would be this cup, the love. And I've always been super into the moon, the sun, the stars. Like my whole room was decorated in that theme when I was in junior high. So it was just like, oh, it's my cup soulmate. So of course your girl had to get it. Oh, had to move the incense away from my face again. Ooh. Okay, so let me light some sage. Even though I'm going to cough a little more doing it, but I swear, if anybody had told me growing up that someday my job was going to include lighting things on fire and having all kinds of smoke in my face half the time, I would have been like, I don't think so. This doesn't sound like something I want to grow up and do, but here we are. Spirit, please join us and clear the energy of this space. Any past readings, any other energy that may be around, and create a neutral, positive place so that we can connect directly with you, Spirit, to these readings. Thank you, Spirit, for joining us and clearing the energy of this room, this space, and me. Amen. And I always replace the energy that I take away with something positive, because we just create an empty space for things. So I always burn Palo Santo after I burn sage, or I will burn like an incense that brings in things like good luck, like a money incense, or just blessings, or abundant, or love incense. I'm burning love incense right now, just because, not because I'm like trying to bring in anything particular with it, but that I wanted, since there's so much hate around Kenny, I kind of felt like, let's counteract that, balance it out. The Libra in me, always looking for that balance. So, Spirit, please join us and answer any questions about Kenneth Petty. What kind of a person is he? Is he good? Is he bad? Is there anything in particular that we should know about Kenneth? Does he really love Nikki? Is he a good person? Does he have good intentions? Is he using her? And here's a little tip for you guys. If you see me wearing my big hoodies, it's because I don't feel great that day, and it's like the most comfortable thing because I also have fibromyalgia, and when that flares up, you don't even want clothes touching your skin, so... I know sometimes people be like, why are you wearing that hoodie again? It's like, because I don't feel good and it's the most comfortable thing I have. That's why. If you guys know of any great, like, small business or Black-owned clothing companies, please drop their information in the description. I mean, not in the description, I mean in the comments, please. Because I did not buy any clothes this year, and I threw out so many clothes when I was moving, and not expecting that, you know, we were all going to get shut down and everything. And so then it felt like, why buy clothes? We're all just in the house not seeing each other. And now I was like, I've lost weight and I need new clothes. So I would always rather support a smaller Black-owned business before any other business. Let's see. I pulled from both of my decks on this first pull, so I was trying to see which one Spirit wanted me to look at first. And then at the end, we'll ask about his upcoming, you know, court case, like if Spirit will share anything about that. Okay. This is very surprising. So Kenny feels like he has spent a lot of his life with people, you know, taking advantage of him, hurting him, putting him in situations that he felt like he didn't deserve to be in. But he feels like karma actually came around and blessed him for the troubles that he has gone through in his life. So he does see his marriage to Nikki as like karmic redemption for the shit that he's been through. The problem is that we have this Ace of Swords, this Ace of Wands, and this Ace of Coins followed by the Tower card. He didn't expect that people were going to act the way they did towards him once it came out that he was with her, and then the way that it has continued. You know, like the things that she had said to try to change the public perception of him, even though she hasn't said a whole lot, you know, but she's done things, you know, because this Eight of Coins and this Palace of Wands is talking about her trying to show her relationship in a good light to everybody, and like trying to like, she really thinks about like, what can I do to make people, you know, like if I post like a bunch of pictures of us happy, is that going to make people kind of like let go of like beating up on this man when they constantly see like I'm good, I'm happy with him? Or is it, you know, like if I say something on Queen Radio or whatever, but like he didn't expect that, you know, a year later people are still kind of like on his ass, or 2 years later, how long ever it's been now. It's been what, 2 years, because they've been married for a year. So it does, like, to him, like, he feels like this is his Tower moment, and he's very afraid that, like, over time people constantly, you know, bringing things up about him in his past and giving her crap is going to compromise his family that he's built with her. Like, he's worried that at some point she's gonna turn around and be like, everybody's right about you, because there's this Four of Wands after this moon and this Three of Wands where it's like you opened your eyes and you're seeing what everybody else is saying, so now you don't want to be with me anymore. So Kenny does feel at times with this Star, this Knight of Coins, and this Page of Coins, like things might not always last, you know? That's surprising. I really did not expect that, because that kind of seems smug sometimes, I guess would be the word. And usually people who have that is sort of like, you know, they're very confident or overconfident about their situation. But maybe that's just, you know, his face. Some people just have a look to them, you know, that they come across like snotty or smug or angry or whatever, and then you get to know them and they're just like the nicest people ever. So here he is as the King of Wands, and she's the Queen of Wands. And then they have the Eight of Wands right afterwards. So right now their relationship is working really well. Again, he actually was scared that she wasn't actually going to follow through on marrying him because of people's perception of him. And you guys remember how like they got the marriage certificate, and then like people were like, oh, they broke up because they never filed it or something, and then she ended up marrying him, like they had to extend it or something or get a new one, and then they ended up getting married. They almost didn't get married because there's the Chariot, the Six of Cups, and the Hangman. She was listening to people around her telling her that this was gonna affect her like business, her brand, and there definitely was a moment, because there's that Hangman there, of like they almost didn't go through with it. But of course they ended up doing it. But yeah, it's just like there's the Page of Pentacles, Two of Wands, Nine of Wands, Eight of Swords, Ace of Swords, and Seven of Swords. He's really afraid that she's going to at some time or another just pack her bags and leave, because, and he's really seeing it as because of the way that people perceive me, the way that people talk about me, the things that they bring up about me, the accusations that they make against me. And it's like he's worried about Nikki sort of having to have this mindset of, I have to, you know, I work so hard to be Nicki Minaj and have this career and everything, and now I have a kid to worry about, so like, bye, like I can't do this, like you're gonna F up my life. So the underlying energy is the Seven of Cups, the Lovers, and the High Priestess. He's really afraid that this is actually not what he thought it was, because it's like Spirit saying when he got into it, he thought like Nikki's so hardcore down for me. But after them almost not getting married, it's like stuck with him ever since then. I don't feel like they like have fights like that right now, but I think it was just because that was such a big moment that fear is always stuck in the back of his head. Which, I mean, to be honest with you, as a woman, like if I was engaged to somebody and then they were like, oh, people don't like you and, you know, this might affect my career and I'm not sure we should get married right now, but then we still did, I would still always have that fear in the back of my head, like, you're gonna leave me because our love isn't enough and you care that much about other people's opinions or money or whatever, right? But then on the other hand, it's like, I do understand Nikki's position on stuff. And like Spirit saying for Nikki, her mindset in that was not, oh my God, like we can't be together. It was more of, what can we do to sort of let the people around me like see that you're decent, so they'll like back off. So it was more like, let's just change their minds and then we'll get married. Okay. Spirit, how does Kenny feel about Nikki deep down, and what are his intentions being with her? You know, because I'm seeing it as karmic redemption could be like, oh, well, screw you, I'm rich now because of my wife. Or it could be, I got the love of my life and I'm happy, you know? Revenge, karma, whatever you want to call it, looks different to everybody. Sometimes it's just about that I'm just happy, and sometimes it's about I went and got a bunch of stuff that you said I wouldn't get. You know, the thing that I find interesting is how all the men that we've really seen, I mean, regardless of Nas, because I think that was an entirely different situation, but the men that we've really known of Nicki, like, being involved with, they all end up having issues with how the public, you know, sort of sees them or treats them. And then that confidence, because she's Nicki Minaj, and it's like they kind of always feel like, oh, like, I'm sort of emasculated by being with you because you're so much better, you know, or higher up than me. That's gotta be hard. It's gotta be hard for Nicki too, because how do you find somebody that can handle that? Or somebody that is, you know, such a bigger star than you, because there really isn't that many people that are on her level, like we've said before. So, I don't, you know what, as much as, like, we can be like, oh my God, you know, I'd love to be famous or rich or this or that, it's like, that does really truly, like, when they say more money, more problems, like, it really does, because you can't just date people and figure shit out, you know, and go on a bunch of Tinder dates and do stuff like that. Like, you have to constantly worry about all these other things, and it just makes me feel bad for them, actually. He really loves her. He really does. There's the 10 of Cups here. Of course, like, you know, let's not lie, with the Magician and the 9 of Coins, like, he also does feel like financially he lucked up because of the person that he loves, but he actually really does love her. And there's this Page of Cups in the past position with the Death card, talking about how he cared about her in the past too. So them talking, you know, the stories that we've heard about, they dated when they were younger, is actually really true. Like, he did always care about her in the past as well. It feels a little more friendship-like, though. It could just be showing that way because, you know, they were a lot younger back then, and, like, how much, like, do you really know about, like, love and relationships when you're a teenager? But it, at the very least, like, they were friends, and he cared about her as a friend first. So, he's still worried about her choosing her career over him, but he definitely is, I mean, happy. He just worries a lot that she's going to move on without him or pick something else or decide that he's not enough for her, but he's willing to keep trying, you guys. But he has a breaking point because it's the Knight of Wands instead of the King of Wands, like, in the effort of showing up that I'm going to, like, try. But again, you guys, I don't think that that has anything to do with I'm not going to try as hard because I don't love you. I think it's more of, if it came down to that, it would be more like, I have so much to fight against that if you're not going to just choose me, like, immediately, then I'm not going to, like, try that hard because you've kind of shown me, like, what's more important to you. Because that's the thing that I keep getting with Kenny. It's like, I really care about you, but, like, if you're going to choose your career over me, like, then you don't care as much about me as, like, I originally thought that you did. So, Spirit, is there anything that you can tell us about Kenny when he was a teenager, young man? Since we brought up the perception of other people putting him in situations and hurting him. Spirit, please tell us anything that you can about Kenny when he was a young man in his late teens, early 20s. I'm always respectful, and I never want to describe abuse or, you know, really talk about that kind of stuff, because the reason why, number one, is that it's definitely a trigger warning for a lot of people. But number two, I always feel like that's somebody else's story to tell and it's not anybody else's. And I don't think that Kenny would ever really talk about things or want people to talk about things. But you guys, like, what Spirit just showed me that he went through, like, when he was locked up the first time, being as young as he was, you can understand why somebody would be very angry after that or turn into a gangbanger or something else. And a lot of that, I feel like it started off him needing to protect himself. But you guys, he really went through it. Let's just put it that way. And that's why I do not agree with locking kids up with older, you know, individuals, or giving them these really long sentences for a first time offense or something that isn't like a super serious crime like a murder, because you're not helping that kid change. You're just allowing them to be abused and you stunt their growth and you traumatize them and you just made things worse for them instead of better. Like, I feel like kids like that need to go to like some sort of intensive therapy rehab facility or something like that, where they're given a chance to turn their life around and they're getting the help that they obviously needed. But to, you know, put them in a prison with a bunch of murderers and gangbangers and things like that, and then think that they're gonna come out and be like, oh, you guys, I'm gonna be perfect now. Like, no. That person probably needs 10 years of therapy after experiencing that. That's why we need justice reform in this country so bad. This is Spirit talking. This is not Kenny's perception of anything, because we asked Spirit directly about Kenny. Again, before I say anything, everything is alleged for entertainment purposes only. I do not claim anything that I have said in this entire video or any of my videos on YouTube to be facts. I am simply reading what my tarot cards tell me. So the first thing that is showing up here is that when things went down with Kenny that led to him going to prison the first time, I think that this was after he came home. But what it is showing me is that Nikki always believed him. She always did. It's not just her believing him right now. She's always believed him when it came to this story, okay? Because Nikki's energy has come in as the Queen of Wands. So with this Page of Wands and Seven of Pentacles and the star underneath it, this is talking about a situation that started off one way and ended up being completely like into something else, you know? So whether that means, oh my God, we were gonna go hang out, you know, and then we ended up getting in a fight instead, or whatever the other person says he did ended up happening. But it's like, this did not happen. Like, there was no intent behind it of, I'm going to come do something to you. And it's that because the Seven of Pentacles to me often means that there's like something that's being overlooked or something that's not being like entirely, like we don't have the whole story, you know. The problem is there's this Queen of Swords with this Magician. Somebody not being honest with the intention of hurting someone else because there's Page of Swords under it. And the Queen of Swords is also communication. So it's somebody who told something that wasn't true, you know, with the intention of hurting this King of Wands being Kenny. And then this obviously led to this Tower moment that really put him in a place where his life, you know, was hanging in the balance. And obviously it did not work out very well for him. Because he was showing up as the King of Cups towards this Queen of Swords, it's talking about that there was a like connection to this person previously, and Kenny at one point did have feelings or cared about this person. So the underlying energy was this, you know, Six of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, and Hierophant, which is that somebody had a choice that they didn't end up actually taking, even though it was advised to them. And, you know, I would take that to mean the story that we heard about, you know, go drop it and then not doing so. So, Spirit, were they in a relationship? Okay, I asked, were they in a relationship, yes or no, and what do y'all think that means? And once he ended things, Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles, and then the Magician, and then the Page of Swords. So somebody was not happy, and because somebody wouldn't get back together with them, they decided to get revenge. Spirit, is Kenny going to go to jail in this upcoming court case? What is that going to look like for him? His case for failing to register. Spirit, what is Kenny's upcoming register case look like? And you guys can figure out all of the rest of that, because you guys have to remember, we always have to be respectful about stuff. And if you wanted to book your own personal and private reading with me, all my information is in the description box below. Today is the last day that you can book for the, or tomorrow is for the 40% off special with coupon code BELLA40. So Sunday, January 3rd is when that expires, and then that's also the last day to book the video readings as well, because those are only as a special and not a regular service. So there's some kind of offer that they're gonna make to him where it's like, oh, you know, instead of going to trial, we'll let you go ahead and do 5 years, you know, in maximum security prison or some crap like that. And I see Nikki being like, hell no, you are not taking that. Like, you're not leaving me and the baby for 5 years. This is BS, you know? So that offer goes away. He is going to have to go through the trial, you guys. Unfortunately, I do feel like he is going to have to go behind bars for a little bit because I have this jail card here. The Four of Swords is my jail card, somebody going to jail. And there's the Ace of Wands behind it. So I feel like they're going to give him a year. He'll probably get out in like 4 months, you know. But I do feel like they're going to give him a year. And again, the underlying energy here, the Four of Pentacles, the Temperance, and the King of Wands. Kenny already knows that they're going to try to get him on it. They're going to try to make him do something. And he's, you know, like, they probably already had a conversation with him about the settlement offer. I mean, settlement, plea deal. That's what it's called. Sorry. I was thinking lawsuits. I was like, no, plea deal. Sorry. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, Kenny. It's just one of those things that I feel like they're just determined that they're going to do something to him. Nikki somehow always finds herself with a guy, too, that has, like, a judge that's determined to punish them, right? Because that's what happened with Meek, too, where that judge just was determined that she was going to get Meek, and it wasn't for, like, a wheelie or some stupid thing like that. So, Spirit, is there anything else we should know about Kenneth Petty before we close this out? Thank you, Spirit. Well, the underlying energy here is Four of Wands with the Tower card and the Knight of Pentacles. So somebody's definitely going to end up choosing their career over Kenny. Right now, he's just trying to, like, spend as much time as he can with Nikki and the baby. He's really praying hard, you guys, that this isn't, that he's not going to go back in. He's very invested in his marriage, though, you guys. Because we have the King of Cups, the Sun card, and the Two of Cups. So that is his happy place, being with Nikki and the baby. So, but eventually, you guys, again, I mean, they're going to end up splitting up. And it's sad, because I would never wish, no matter, like, if we like Kenny or we don't, you know, there's a baby involved. That's a family. I would never wish, like, that kind of, you know, breaking up a family on anybody. I always, of course, will root for women if they are being abused or cheated on and disrespected to leave and be, you know, better and get what they really truly deserve. But at the same time, it's like, it's still a sad thing when a woman, you know, has to make that choice, because everybody deserves to be happy. But it seems from the cards that Kenny isn't as bad of a person as we may all have thought he was. So hopefully this helped to bring some clarity to things. I love you guys all so very much. If you wanted to book your own personal private reading with me, all my information is in the description box below. Keep in mind the, like, extra questions and stuff, those are going to happen on Station Head. We're starting this week, so make sure you follow on there. I love you all so much, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.